feeling is finally being out of prison, but it's like I don't feel free. I hate it here. I feel so overwhelmed, and I don't have no friends. I have nobody. I don't know why. I was so wanting to come back because I want to go back to prison so bad. I don't want to be out here.
I have this weird instinct in me to act tough and say that I don't understand what she's talking about, but like I definitely do. Like everything when I got out was super overwhelming and I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere that I went. I remember getting stuck at convenience stores just trying to pick out a drink or something to eat because there were all these options and I just went into overload. The way that I got through it was just by focusing on one small goal at a time that were all steps to my end game goal. Every single one of those goals had to do with me not ever going back to prison. There were times when I first got out that I was so overwhelmed that I almost wanted to go back. Everything in prison is very black and white and there's so many gray areas out here. It's like you get lost so easily when you first get out.
Well, hello. How's it going? We meet again. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone that comes to listen to me. All of my subscribers, thank you. When I was out in the trenches, being targeted at large, trying to live out of my car, you know, when I fled Houston, I made it a pact to never be scared. To never be scared or fearful of being alone, of sleeping by myself in a truck at odd and weird places, you know. I cast all of that down. But whenever it came to being harassed by police officers and such that are part of the gang stalking, that are part of the targeting of the individual, that was a bit of a push-pull for me. But I want to say that for everybody that tuned in and would listen to me when I went live, you guys were that lifeline to help me find that strength, you know. So I really appreciate everybody that comes back to listen. Thank you. You know, as a targeted individual, I'm one of many who are being heavily targeted, heavily gang stalked. I can see the changes in the environment that reflect that the gang stalking is going to be getting phased out. However, there are still other individuals that are still being heavily targeted. So, but I can listen in the environment and note that the noise campaign definitely, I would say, like on a scale of 1 to 10, has gone down to a 3. That's a big deal. Because the noise campaign, when I say noise campaign, I'm talking about all of the cars with their bullshit. And I can even speak to the technology that could sync SYNC, that bullshit, to your respirations. That's some gnarly tech. So where I'm at, that has definitely calmed down a lot, you know. And so but whenever I'm out in public, I always guard my gateways, which is my ears. Man, I don't want to hear the ambient conversation, because that's an opportunity to punk me with somebody's fake as fuck dialogue that pulls in pieces or buzzwords of your life interspersed and peppered into somebody's conversation. For people that do that, y'all are sick fucks. And everybody that tries to latch on to aspects of my life, I control your world, hun. You need to control your own world. I have no desire to control anybody. But I will say this. For all of the opposition that are trying to get my goat I think it is hilarious to inadvertently control your life. I didn't ask to do it. I don't really care to, but I think it is funny as fuck that it happens. Well, I'm just going to keep it there, and I want to shout out to Olivia, because she pointed that out in her video, and I realized that some time ago, and it just brought all that up again. So it was more like comedy relief. But man, whenever I left Houston and I made a pact with myself to manifest my way out of being gang stalked and to manifest my way into riches, and manifest my way into annihilating gang stalking, creating an abolishment of it. There were adjuncts of study that I had picked up on, and it was more like embracing a philosopher's take on life. And I'm just a natural born philosopher, but with life it would ebb and flow, and then with desperation it came back to me again. But I learned from one of the other YouTubers, instead of saying, I want to be rich, it was more like, fall in love with wanting freedom. And I learned that from Abraham Lincoln. Abraham, spoken by Esther Hicks, there we go. Fall in love with freedom. And that way, whenever you're manifesting freedom, the natural byproduct of that is wealth, abundance, prosperity. So one of the other YouTubers I learned this from was, instead of being like wanting the pentacles, so to speak, to be Lady Pentacles. Lady Pentacles. Fall in love with the terms abundance and prosperity. So that's what I have been defaulting to. And but with freedom, that means you have the power to head towards everything and anything that you want. And then I peppered that with the freedom to head towards everything and anything that I want on a premeditated plan or a whimsical whim. And the abundance, some other ways I would phrase that, but it's the manifesting. And so, whenever I had my storage usurped from me, because secondary to being blacklisted, secondary to being targeted, they ruin you out of a financial way to provide for yourself. I lost my storage, and so I have some of my journals in there, and one of my journals totally speaks about the manifesting. And so I still hold out hope for it all, because I know that God, the Most High, is on the throne, and my manifestations of my manifesting is all in alignment with God's perfect timing. So while I've been at this for since 2020, I know the wrap up is upon me. So everybody that could have helped bring abolishment to gang stalking by helping me, it's like, we can help Little Flower free her from the gang stalking and help bring abolishment to it, or we can hop on the gay gravy train and gang stalker to keep flipping the blood coin. Well, when I came into your life, I was a gift. And how you treated me was either you respected the gift or you just smited it down. So that's on you, and whoever that is. Because as a chosen one, whenever a chosen one, anybody crosses the path of a chosen one, we're instant karma. So if you were there to get your grub on, instead of help a sister out, you get that, like, at least times 10, but I always pepper mine with return to sender times tenfold. I mean, like 10,000-fold. As long as it's within the perfect will of God. I always pray the perfect will of God over, preface any prayer. Because I'm not going to pick up anybody's karmic tab. So what that means is, with the ideology of you shouldn't pray for everybody because you don't want to intercede on karma. Because say for instance, you have this piece of shit gang stalker who refused to reform, and now is getting their ass handed to them by karma, by losing a home, losing the ability to provide for themselves, losing the ability to even have a car, and you decide to take in that gang stalker into your home. What happens there is that everybody gets to partake of that karma. Now watch out for that. It's like aiding and abetting. If somebody escaped prison and you took them in, you're going to get the smackdown of the judicial system, more than likely. I say that because not all judicial is ethical. And so, but by way of spiritual law, you don't want to get in between anybody's karma. So, for everybody that had come sideways at me, yes, I know. I know Marcella Marie and Landon Comiskey, and by default, Liam, you were her honeypot. You had been fanning the flames of dissension between me and her. You were sent to marry her. So, I don't believe for a second that you were the faithful Mr. Comiskey. So, if she cheated on you, you had been doing that way before she'd ever done it to you. So, be careful of the lies you tell everybody, because you are under judgment too. And then I know about you, Don Renee Barber, snake that you are. I know about you too, Jennifer Alford, narcissist that you are. I know about you too, maiden name Amy Coleman, maiden name Kim Metcalf, and of course, your peeps outed you, Patrick Creekmore, Penny Creekmore. I know about you, Paul Regali, psycho that you are. I know about you, obviously, the crusty cunt, Barbara Renee Lyles Regali. And I know about you, Monica Regali, Brian Rice. And of course, baby daddy, Tim Regali. I know about you all. So, don't think for an instant that while karma is handing you your ass and karate chopping over everything that you did behind my back with all of this death certificate, fake marriage certificate, Dick Tracy #1 and your pet parasite who had been bawling in my name, living la vida loca, you all stole my inheritance, the house. I mean, I'm not the only one this is happening to. I am one of many that this is happening to. the gang stalking has its copy-paste template that they use for all the other same targeted individuals. But because you have different family members that have been given the incentive and the prerogative to come sideways at their target, there are the little puppeteering those little bobbleheads. Illuminati, which I know it sounds crazy. The Khazarian Mafia. I know that's who's been behind my targeting. Came to me in a dream a few nights ago. I get told stuff. I was number 2 on the dark web last year. And then, and of course, Dick Tracy number 2. That's Mr. Dragon. You and Dick Tracy number 1. And just if you guys haven't figured it out yet, you both married your honeypots. Y'all were duped. Y'all were easy. And what you guys wanted was just money. And more pointedly, Dick Tracy number 1 and Dick Tracy number 2, along with Barbara Regali and Don Snake Renee Barber, those bitches were harvesting my energy before I'd gotten hip to it all. And so both Dick Tracy number 1 and number 2 were possible male divine, we had a contract in the ethers. Dick Tracy number 1 pissed on it, then it was given to Dick Tracy number 2, Mr. Dragon. He pissed on it, and then so on and so forth. So instead of getting to know me, having a conversation with me, with those two in particular, neither one of them had a full-blown conversation with me. Each of them knew who I was to them. Because they were judging me for my veneer and for the body shaming of the trichotillomania, I wasn't their type. They preferred shallow bitches. Shallow, trollop witches. Like, whatever. Who cares? But what they did was, it was like, why do we want to buy the cow if we can just fucking milk its energy behind her back all we want? That's what happened there. And when I got hit to it all and learned how to call back my energy and cut that shit out, then everything that was built off the energy harvesting off of me, the walls came crumbling down. And so all those bitches, yeah, they're losing it all. And then so calling back your energy is pretty easy. All you gotta say is, I call my energy back to me. I always say, I call all of my energy back to me that's not serving my highest of interest. Boom, done. You know, do that 3 times a day. Because these scenarios of stealing your energy, they can do it by, I say they, the opposition, can do it electronically, and they can do it esoterically. Either way, just call your energy back to you. So that way, you're living your potential. I had my potential sucked out sideways from me. So it's not happening anymore. And, but nonetheless, still having been blacklisted from employment, hear me loud and clear, opposition. You all are dead, don't even know it. So when your avatar kicks out from underneath you, off to hell you go. You know, call it whatever you want. Let's say that it's not even hell, but it's the lowest vibratory dimension frequency throughout the cosmos of the universe. It's still there. And that's what is called the second death. And so all of those demonic-like entities, you become fodder for their plate on the regular. And since there is no death, so to speak, you will regenerate everything that they do to you. And they get to do it over and over and over and over. Watch some hell testimonies. You'll learn. You'll see the common denominators with different testimonies. As if you dare. But if you want to save yourself the trouble from the eternal damnation of the gnashing of teeth and the second death and the lake of fire, man, many of you already have your pits of your prison cells with your name on it. For reals, for reals. This is where you are locked and loaded into this fate of yours right now. You can either be judged by 12 or carried by 6. Either way, you will pay for your karma. So, if you want to escape the pits of hell, take care of your business in the flesh before you die. As prescribed in other videos, which is predicated on telling the truth. So, you're welcome. I taught you. But with regards to that, you all get to endure everything that your targets had to endure. And everybody with respect to my case, and as I acknowledge my experiences right now, you all get to become jobless. Y'all are in spiritual jail. So everything, all of the karma that comes to serve you up a whoop-ass lifestyle, everything you wanted from me, you get to endure. So all of this inability to have a fair shake at getting an ethical job, you don't get. You don't get your cars. You get to eat cold meals if you are able to procure meals. Because I miss being able to work an ethical job without having some asshole try to work me over and sideswipe me. But I just look at it all like it's just on pause. And I have to choose to enjoy life right where I am, stripped of everything. And guess what? I have. And as it turns out, holding on to your joy is a spiritual battle. Could each of you hold on to your joy while getting your ass kicked, rochambeaued, your nuts rochambeaued, and still be happy? Because if I could do it, you guys can do it. I swear you can. You just have to want to. So instead of your karma working out against you, let it work for you. Because, you know, so what you go to jail? So what you go to prison? If you pick up your cross and hold tight to it and choose to serve the light, you can make it through. There is an anointing for you guys to get through it. People survive prison all the time. And some of those folks that end up out of prison, they want to go back. So it's not a dead end, you guys. It's not a dead end. And if you're thinking about giving up everything and just calling it seppuku, why don't you go out in the bang of glory by just telling the truth? End up in prison, serving out your karma here. Willfully. You can do that. You could so do it. It's not an end of the world. Shit. For all the bullshit you put all your freaking targets through, and for the ones that are able to survive it, conquer it, and live their best life in the middle of it, man, y'all can do it too. If you're not so lazy. Since most of you are just like to scam people and two-face them and Judas them and then train the young to do that, what you did was give them privilege of hell. Top to the line. You guys gotta fix some bullshit before you can even think about ending up in beyond the pearly gates of heaven. But if you're suicidal, just give it all up and tell the truth. Serve out your time. Go to prison. Because it's not a death sentence. You can take care of business. You can do it. So have some dignity about you. Instead of just snuffing your lights out, why don't you just give up in life by telling the truth? By owning up to it. By working off your karma. Go to prison. Because either way, I forgive everybody the live long day, but I endorse the fuck out of karma. Because without it, how would you ever learn? If I forgave you, and you guys didn't do your karma, you'd be right there doing the whole unethical shakedown all over again. But you need to conquer your own perspective on how you view going to prison. Because it's not an end of life. You might be there for a freaking while, but if you're all hooked up on drugs and a drug addict, it'll help get you clean. And then you can begin to live a normal life that is independent of thoughts instead of dependent upon your decision making, so you can get your drugs, so you can live the unholy life you got addicted to. Because in many ways, prison is your ticket out of the addictions. Is it going to be hard? Yeah. Is it going to be hell? Yeah. You cause hell for a lot of people, but it can be done. You can face your fears, face your demons, and conquer them. That's if you choose to. So, but if you choose not to amend your karma, and you choose to keep on railroading the young into hell by teaching them to be parasitic liars, thieves, and murderers in your Auschwitz 2.0 with all of your PSYOP assignments, then my loves, you are exactly what is wrong with this earth. Then I pray the good Lord smites you right where you are, so we can be purified of all of that toxic energy. But you do deserve your best life. You do deserve making amends. But if you refuse it, we don't need you. But you can be the prodigal superhero to come home and teach others behind you how to do it. We need those superheroes, man. We need those superheroes. So, but, yeah, I'm like, I think I've had a good run, not being too sad about not having a job. I like to go shopping. And, well, I miss having my job where I could do that. But I've been very well cared for, very well thought of by my benefactors. And I'm very thankful for that. But the sense of independence inside of me, I loved my gurney. And you all ran off an ethical paramedic. So when you need emergent treatment, you're not going to get an ethical anybody. Because that is not in your karma. I'm talking to the gang stalkers and as such, you guys get to enjoy the same lackluster people you have helped bred and protected in your cesspool. Anyways, Peace out. Bye for now. Just some food for thought of what I have been experiencing and what gang stalkers could hopefully discern into their own lives instead of a dead end, and hopefully broaden your perspective with some hope. Anyways, if you stopped and watched this long, thank you so much. I'm just a little bit nostalgic because this time last year I was targeted really hard out in the public, but since my benefactor rescued me, life's been different. Still been targeted, but life has been good too. I mean, I chose it to be good the whole time because holding on to your joy is a battle and a victory. Anyways, peace out for now. Until next time, Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at you from this godforsaken Truman Show. I don't get paid for it. I know that people out there has been like, she's part of it, we've paid her. No, you haven't. I know about it because of logistics and because the ethers told me that I learned through the very talented mystics, seers, intuitives, shamans, and the such on YouTube that I was able to piece my story to. At any rate, happy Halloween. Bye for now.